right back. We're celebrating the brand new album, Extra Cherries with Gypsy Enough. Enuff ZNUFF's incredible new album on Cleopatra Records. My brothers Brian, Tim, and all the guys over there, West LA. It's good to be on an American label, isn't it? Where you can go and sit and visit and be in the office and press some flesh.
Right. Let's not forget Ken Ty over there. He does a lot of stuff behind the scenes for that label. He's a genius. And Matt Green, my good buddy, who makes sure I get my paycheck every single week. Those guys are very important. They got to wet my beak, and it puts a smile on my knitted brow. It's a great label. Happy to be with them. The Extra Cherries records was a lot of it put together idea-wise, not song-wise, but idea-wise, and how we were going to market it and put it out through Brian Pereira. He was the one who came to me and said, man, you got a lot of friends in the business, Chip. Why don't you call some of them, get them on this record? And that's what I did. And they have guys like Steve Stevens on Magnificent and Neil Sean and Robert Fleischman, the old singer from Vinnie Vincent Invasion, and of course with Journey. He wrote Wheel in the Sky with Neil. To have them on the record, very, very special. The Cheap Trick Boys on there, along with the Nelsons. I love the guitar solo by Gunnar Nelson on Star Star, the old Rolling Stone track, which we never do songs like that. I wanted to take a chance and step out of the box. Didn't want to feel comfortable. I wanted to do something that was promiscuous. Nobody writes lyrics like Mick Jagger and a riff like Keith Richards, and I think we nailed that one as well. And of course, having Steve Brown from Trickster and Def Leppard on the record, who co-wrote the song and been playing and singing his ass off. It's really a celebration of collaborations around the country, and that's what makes Extra Cherries by Enuff ZNUFF so special. All those different players that came on there and contributed.
Well, Shine has not only Robert Fleischman, but Donnie V and Neil Sean. How did you get Neil to throw down?
Okay, Neil came down to Chicago 30 years ago. I was producing a record called the Cyclops Blues Band. I think it's on Guitar Recordings. You can find it, Jay. Anybody's looking out for it. Cyclops Blues Band with an S, Guitar Recordings. And there's members of Sly and the Family Stone, Gregorico playing drums on it. Perry Prince is on the record. Of course, Neil, Ross, Valerie. And I was lucky enough to co-produce the record with a guy named Dave Denny, who wrote Nobody Loves You Like the Way I Do by Steve Miller Band. And went in the studio and we had a quarter pound of pot and a bunch of designer sandwiches, and we bashed out a blues record in a week. But the last two songs they wanted to do in Chicago, so they flew to Chicago, and it was Herbie Herbert, the genius, who said, you know what, maybe you should get Neil and the boys to get in there and record a song. We had a few hours left at Chicago Recording Company, which is no longer there. And we recorded one song with no vocals at all. Donnie playing the piano. I thought it was solid as a rock, as a matter of fact, kind of, old school where we bashed it out live. Neil having a good time. I remember Neil saying, hey, Chip, how does the guitar sound? I go, you're Neil Sean. Come on, bro. You sound great. And we tracked it with a guy named Chris Steinmetz, who runs a place called Stonecutter Studios. He used to work at CRC. And then it just sat. And we never did anything with it. And then when I was making the Extra Cherries record, I wanted to get Neil on it. He was busy with Journey, but I had this track. And so I said, I pulled it up there and I thought, I just played bass on the Robert Fleischman Emotional Atlas record out in Wisconsin. So it was perfect timing. I called Robert, he flew to Chicago, and within 1 hour, we had a whole song finished.
Yeah, that's history right there. Like you say, Gunnar Nelson on Starfuckers, a.k.a. Star Star from the Stones, Robin Zander, and Derek Frigo on You Make Me Wanna Lie. Talk about having Derek on the track.
You can't say enough about Derek. He loved Daring Householder. He's a huge fan of different guitar players. He's a big fan of Joe Perry as well. Alan Holmesworth, he just absolutely loved him as well. And I wanted to just carry his history. I wanted to celebrate his life. God took him too early. And he had wonderful guitar stuff that he played with Enuff ZNUFF. He was a great writer. Didn't get the credit he deserves. He had wonderful parts. He really changed the trajectory of Enuff ZNUFF. In those early days, when we were recording at Royal Recorders in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, with Skid Row, we were both doing our debut records.
Yeah.
Derek was in there just nailing it every single day. And we couldn't get a record deal until Derek got on the stuff and started playing. We shopped our tapes in the early days, and we couldn't get arrested walking naked down 127th and Western. And then we had Derek come down and play solos on 4 or 5 songs. We had a bidding war the following week. We weren't sure where we were going to go. It was going to be Warner Brothers or Capitol, and we ended up going with Atlantic Records and a guy named Derek Showman, who had a label called Atco, which was a subsidiary of Atlantic. And he signed in the same week he signed Pantera, AC/DC, Bad Company, and ENUFF ZNUFF. And we went in the studio. The record company never showed up in the studio. We played that record all the way through. And finally, at the end, they came by to listen to it. Paul Lanny mixed the record. It was great. And we found ourselves a beautiful record deal and a chance to get our music out to a lot of people. They actually wanted to change the name to Trick or Treat in Schoolyard. And we fought with them tooth and nail. And finally, we were able to keep the name ENUFF ZNUFF. And it's a silly name as well, but I think it's original and it stands alone.
Definitely stands out. I had the blessing to speak to Derek Shulman recently. A lot of history, signing Bon Jovi, Dan Reed Network, all those bands you mentioned. Great
Cinderella.
Stuff. Cinderella, no doubt.
Remember, he used to be in a band called Gentle Giant. He was
a singer.
Yeah.
Of course.
And I think he really gave everything he got with ENUFF ZNUFF. We just got caught in the middle of a political shuffle. But getting back to Derek, everywhere I went, guitar players would come to me and going, that guy's the real deal. He's the real McCoy. And I got so many guitar parts and so much stuff on DAT tape and 2-inch tape in my library at my crib in Blue Island. I had to use them, and I put them on a song. And I certainly hope that the fans appreciate that, because it was a challenging moment, because Derek's not with us right now, but you can listen to his guitar playing. He sings. He's got a beautiful voice.
Well, when you have a Robin Zander saying, Chip, let's do it, how do you decide what song? Do you give him direction in the studio? Talk about the magic.
You don't. That's the secret of making records and collaborating with other musicians. Don't tell them what to play and what to do. That's a conflict of interest. It's a shortcut to thinking. You let these guys do their thing, and that's where the magic comes from. And I remember Robin coming down and singing on All Day and All the Night, the old Kinks song. And by the way, one take, okay? That guy's a man of a million voices. And I remember him saying to me, he goes, that was the first song that we learned when I joined Cheap Trick. It's incredible.
Wow. Well, what an incredible album. Extra Cherries out now. Go get it. It's amazing. See ENUFF ZNUFF on the road. The Road Dogs. Chip, always a pleasure. Can't wait to see you back in Cali where you belong. You
Jay,
got
I'll be
Steven
coming
Adler.
back there. Yep, I'll be back there. Steven's going to come see me. We're playing December 29th on that Whiskey Takeover. And that whole week is nothing but, LA Guns, Faster Pussycat, Winger, all the great bands from that era. And ENUFF ZNUFF is playing on December 29th. It's ENUFF ZNUFF, and the support band is Pretty Boy Floyd. A Tuesday night, right before New Year's, a real nice celebration right there. I always love playing for Michael and Jake over at the Whiskey. Those guys treat us like family, which we are. If you walk inside the Whiskey, you'll see my jacket from New Thing in a glass case right there next to LA Guns. So I'm really proud to say we're still going out strong out there and playing shows all through the West Coast. And I believe that next year there's a major tour announcement coming up. And all I can tell you is one of the bands is Glenn Hughes from Deep Purple in ENUFF ZNUFF. That's all I can say right now. Consolidation's the name of the game. So you'll see some big tours happening next year, folks. And all the bands are coming through the United States again, because that's what it's all about, bringing the music right to your front door.
Well, I got great memories hanging out in Studio City with you and Steven Adler, you hanging out in the back, smoking a joint, having a good time. I mean, right here in Cali is where it's at. Can't wait for the Whiskey A Go-Go and Extra Cherries. Spread the word. ENUFF ZNUFF is on fire.
Quick shout out to Amanda over at ABC PR. She's doing a wonderful job. And, of course, to my Cleopatra family. Jay, great talking to you. I'm on another call. I'll see you when I get to Los Angeles, otherwise known as Tinseltown, in December. Bring some Cheech and Chong with you, bro.